said, I want to welcome our guest here today. Specifically, I have with me Dana Lewis. She is with AACOG, and she has brought some guests here today. So I'm going to let her introduce our guest. But Dana, thank you again for being here. I appreciate you. You're one of our faithfuls that are always coming to one of our meetings. So you and AACOG, like I said before, I think y'all have come with like 4 or 5 people, and I said I have to give you your own table because you take up some space already.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. But thank you again for coming and being here with us. Say hello to the people listening.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Sal, so much for having us out. I'll go ahead and introduce the individuals that I have here with me today. Ms. Crystal Campos-Rosales with AACOG PR, and then I have Mr. Gary Johnson, and he's with Frontier Enterprises. So they're going to talk a little bit about an exciting event that we have coming up on September 23rd. Crystal, go ahead.
Thanks so much, Dana, and thank you, Mr. Mendez, for having us. We're very much looking forward to partnering with Frontier Enterprises. If for those of you who are not aware, Frontier Enterprises manages all of the Jim's restaurants that you see across the city, Magic Time Machine, as well as La Fonda and Frontier Burger. So, unfortunately, as we all know, this pandemic has just affected so many aspects of our lives, and especially the restaurant industry has suffered so much, unfortunately, from this, with having to go from businesses, restaurants in particular, completely shutting down, when we were all on lockdown, up to back to a quarter, 25% to 50 to 75%. We've and so unfortunately right now a lot of the restaurants are struggling with securing employees, and so AACOG along with Frontier Enterprises is looking much forward to hosting a job fair specifically for the restaurant industry out at Magic Time Machine on September the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our Employment Services Division, which which Dana, I'm so sorry, oversees, is going to help be on site to assist anyone who's wanting to learn more about these services, such as food servers, then cooks, hostess, dishwashers, bussers, bartenders. Come out, bring your resume. Dana can help you kind of navigate through that, see how you can just better present your credentials, can help you with some hiring, interview tips, and bring out your I-9 as well. So yeah, we're very much looking forward to that.
And we were talking about this earlier, right? If you hear Jim's or Frontier Enterprises, if you've ever eaten at a Jim's, you probably know Jim's, the organization or the business. And I was talking to Gary a little while ago. I said, man, I remember as a young boy going to one of their particular. It's not existing anymore, but I remember my parents used to take us there, and they had some of the best burgers. Believe me, I loved it when they say, hey, we're gonna go get some burgers, and then across the street there was a drive-in. And so I'm like, oh man, that's a win-win situation, right? We go get some burgers, the fries and a drink, and then we go see a movie. So those are fond memories that I have of Jim's, right? Jim's Frontier. And so I know, and I didn't mention this, but we have a Jim's right about 4 blocks from the house. So, that's another thing. I love their pancakes. Okay, I got to go there. My wife and I love their pancakes. So if you've never eaten, you're missing out on something good. But thank you, Gary, for being here.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you, AACOG, and for the support of our industry. It has been a very difficult time period for all of us, and our industry was affected more so than most. And we've always been our industry has always been an employer of all, but now more so than ever. Anybody wanting to work, we find a place to work.
Sure.
And so if you don't have a resume, that's okay. Come on down. We'd love to talk to you, and we would anything we can do to help put you to work. And it's a great industry to be a part of. I've been in it 35 years, and I just wish I'd have started it a little sooner.
And that's what we were talking about, right? You've been, like I said, I remember I was a teenager, and that was like in the late '70s. So, you're telling me I think it was 48 years since the beginning? Is that
No, 1947.
47.
It's been over
yeah.
70 years.
70 years.
Yeah.
And so it's been around a while. So something that long doesn't last just because, they're doing something mediocre or, they're not doing it right. I think, when they're able to sustain something like that for so many years, they're doing something right. And I can tell you the food, I love the food. And he's not paying me to say that. Like I said, the burgers were good, and I know that the pancakes were good as well, along with the other things we've tried. It's been a good thing. But, I believe wholeheartedly business are doing something right, especially because they've lasted that long, and also being able to, like you said right now, with everything that's so difficult, there's so many, and I touched on this a little while ago, that we went to go eat at and I'm not plugging Chili's, okay, but the thing is that we went there and they told me it was a 30-minute wait, and I'm looking at one of the sections of the restaurant, and it's totally empty, and I'm like, well, what do you mean a 30-minute wait? There's nobody on this side. He says, well, we don't have servers, we don't have wait people. I said, so whatever we have, we can't serve everybody, so we can't sit everybody because you're going to be waiting for a while.
Sure.
So that right now, like what you're saying, there's a big need in the food service industry for people to be able to work, or the job openings that are there are there right now.
Sure.
And so that's what you're coming in pretty much emphasizing, that, hey, if you want to work, there's work to be done. I mean, there's
Absolutely.
being able to get a job.
It's more and more common today. You'll see signs in the lobby of restaurants that, please be patient with those that did come to work, because everyone is short-staffed. And, like I said, like we were talking about earlier, for the most part, the public has been very supportive, and our staff just wants to earn a living and take care of them and do the great job they've always done. And like I said, we just need more of them. So there's a lot of opportunity, and like I said, it's a great chance. If you've never been in the restaurant industry, it's a great chance to try a new field. Like I said, we take all comers.
Right. And is that pretty much the job openings that you have? Is that for every restaurant you have here, or is it outside of San Antonio as well, or?
Every restaurant that we have, yes.
Okay.
We know we've got, the majority of our restaurants are here in San Antonio. This is where we're based and where we're from. We do have 3 restaurants in Austin and 1 in Dallas. But we have openings at all of our locations, all shifts, day shift, the evening shift, part-time, full-time. Again, we just want to put people to work, and it is a great company to work for. Because I've been with them 21 years, and it's a family-owned organization. It's not a big, you're more than a number to us. The family gets to know your name, and like I said, it is a great teamwork environment. And like I said, I just can't brag on us enough about that.
Right, and I know you were mentioning something that I know we were talking about the COVID and everything that's going on, and I think sometimes, like I always said, I think from something bad or a tragedy, I think I tend to look at something good has to come from this, and I think you were sharing about that it's gotten you, I guess, maybe to see your employees in a different light, or maybe made that connection more, maybe it was more of a family tie kind of situation because of, you kind of saw what they were dealing with as well, and everything that was coming with, everything that was involved during that point of what we're going through.
Absolutely. I don't believe that, we haven't been around over 70 years by treating people poorly.
Right.
But I don't believe that we had this sense of appreciation for the staff that we do today. Because when this tragedy hit, whenever this pandemic hit, it really forced us to take a good hard look at our organization and how we honor that relationship with our employees, and we certainly have strengthened that as a result of being forced out of work for a while and just banding together to get through this. Like I said, I think there's a much deeper understanding of each other, and I think we understand what our staff needs to get out of a job much more than we did before. So I think it's going to be very refreshing for the industry as a whole in the way that we're seen, because I do believe that we have something to offer anybody, and like I said, that's the beauty of the restaurant industry, is that you don't have to be a certain anything. If you have a servant's heart and you care about serving people, there's a place for you, and we'll find a way to make you happy.
And that's what it is, right? You're serving people, and you do have to have that servant mindset or mentality, and especially because you're dealing with all kinds of different people, and sometimes it can get a little challenging. You get somebody that walks in and maybe had a bad day, and then all of a sudden he said one thing, and then you bring him out something else, and it's like, and I feel for them because I know how
Sure.
challenging it can be, or how sometimes, unfortunately, a customer can come in and be kind of rude to people that, because you had a bad day doesn't mean, you need to take it out on somebody else.
Right.
And so you have to have that mindset and the heart really to just kind of say, thank you, sir. Okay, we'll correct this, or whatever the case may be. And it's hard to find people like that nowadays, because everything is more about me and making
Sure.
sure I'm happy and not making sure somebody else is happy. And I think, like Dana here with AACOG, and I think, and I've said this before the meeting. I said, at the meeting as well, that you really tell when people are doing something from their heart, and they just love what they do, and they're really wanting to make an impact on people. Yes, I understand it's also about collecting a check, but I think when that is being in the forefront first, you really see the impact that they're making. And I know AACOG makes that impact because of the people they're able to help, the community that they're helping as well, and it just, I think the partnership, like what you're talking about, I think it's very well a good partnership, because I hear the same mindset in wanting to help people in whatever capacity. And is this how because I'm curious, because it's, when you said the Frontier, and I'm thinking, well, are you talking about the first thing that came was the restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, okay, how is that happening? How is AACOG partnering with Frontier? And I don't know, how did that happen?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks so much for asking. So Dana's been working closely with the director of HR with Frontier Enterprises. He expressed the need. Dana's done a great job. She's our employment services coordinator and helps individuals, not just those with disabilities, but anyone who needs help with job preparation skills, with resume building. And so the two of them just got together, and Mr. Miller said, hey, our Jim's restaurants, Magic Time Machine, La Fonda, Frontier, we're all, in need of workers. And so Dana said, okay, well, what can we do? And so, we're very excited for this partnership and to be able to help. So.
And that's a great thing, because like I was telling Dana, or I tell people, I said, sometimes you think somebody, like AACOG, because I think they do this, but then you start talking about, no, we do this. We're like, who would have known? and I always, like some of our partners at Bridging the Gap, I said, look, you may have the greatest service or the greatest resources, you could be the best program, but if people don't know that you do that, then how is that going to benefit people? And I think being able to, like I said, this partnership and being able to put it out there, and people know that, hey, this is something that is being offered, and it's what I seem to hear, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Absolutely.
And what everybody, and how this connection or what's being offered is being made available to those who may be in need of a job. And again, it's, you have different locations throughout San Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We, as an industry, we really had to, we had our traditional labor pools, getting people coming out of school and stay-at-home moms that needed extra income. But we really have opened up our minds to, we can put anybody to work. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how able you are. You just have to have that want to have a job, and we'll find a way to let you help our business, and at the same time it'll be beneficial to them.
Right. And so I know you mentioned you do have restaurants outside of San Antonio. Let's say somebody's listening right now, maybe they're from Dallas or Austin or Corpus or wherever, and they're going back, but maybe they're listening and say, well, if I'm here, can I go here and apply and be able to get hired at another, where you have another restaurant, or is it
Absolutely.
Specifically San Antonio?
No, absolutely, and that's one of the benefits of our company is being, owned by one family. If they go off to, let's say they go to Austin to go to school, they live here in San Antonio, but they go off to college in Austin, they can transfer to a location up there, or to Dallas, or and vice versa. So like I said, that's one of the beauties of the restaurant industry is that it is so flexible. We can build a schedule around their availability, and like I said, it is not traditional 9 to 5 work.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the best part, because I know sometimes, some businesses are not willing to work with people. Some of them may be going to school, or they may have a different, maybe they can't take care of the kid during a certain time because somebody else can't take care of them, or whatever the case may be. Being able that the flexibility of a schedule means a lot to someone that is in need of saying, hey, I can't work your traditional 9 to 5.
Well, I'll tell you, I put myself through school working in a restaurant, waiting tables, and one of the beauties of that job is that you can make 40 hours worth of pay and 20 hours worth of work if you put that effort into it.
Sure.
And so you can kind of set your own pay rate when you're a server. Like I said, the industry is changing, and I think the people that maybe they looked at it 15 years ago need to come back and look again, because it is a different industry than what they may think.
Right. And so you think, I think maybe a big change has happened because of the COVID, because a lot of things, that you were probably was more traditional is now really like, we need to revamp this in a different way, because I think it may not be for the moment. I think a lot of these changes that are happening are going to be implemented or being used, 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I mean, I see that kind of possibly in what I'm looking at currently.
Oh, right. I mean, we're all industries are looking for employees, and we're all vying for the same people. And I think the restaurant industry, we took a good hard look at ourselves and realized that maybe we weren't as attractive as we once were. And so, like I said, I think that there's an awful lot of open-mindedness and willingness to not to trade places so much, but to really understand what an employee is looking for from a job, and try to check as many boxes as we possibly can to make sure that they have an enjoyable place to work.
Right.
Because that's what reason why people stay, is because they're being well taken care of, they're being treated well, and they enjoy the work. So.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people don't. They don't. A lot of times, maybe I could care less about the title, but if you treat me right, I mean, I'm happy. I'm good, and a lot of times we tend to forget that if we don't maybe spend time or connect with people or engage, your employees. A lot of times I hear, well, they don't care about me, or they don't even think I exist, and so I'm more of a number than anything else. But I think when the upper management really looks at them as a people, like you said, there's a closer connection now, because for whatever reason, it's like, you helped me and I helped you. I think the bond kind of really just it moves into more of a family type relationship than
Absolutely.
anything else.
Well, one of the things we do is we put out a monthly newsletter to all the stores across all 4 of our brands, and people reach an anniversary. We put their name in the newsletter. We've got employees that we have people in our maintenance department have been with us over 50 years. We have food servers that are in restaurants, food servers that have been serving for over 40 years, 30 years. And we celebrate when they've been there 6 months, when they've been there a year, because everybody has that choice to make in the morning whether they want to go to work or not. And the ones that do, we want to celebrate that and really make sure they feel appreciated for that. And like I said, when it's a big anniversary, just like you would with a marriage, when you hit 20 years, we make a big deal about it. So, and everybody, like I said, the neat thing is that you go into our corporate office, they know your name. You're not a number to them.
Right, exactly. And that's what sets you apart, right? When you're able to look at someone, you look at them again like a person or someone who is a friend or a family member, that you're just not another number or just somebody on the system.
We like to think so.
Yeah.
We like to think so, and I will tell you, everybody has times of crisis in their lives, and being able to go to your employer and say, I'm having an issue, and we can't always solve the problem, but we can certainly help control the environment while you solve the problem, and know that we're in the same canoe together.
Yeah.
So
a lot of times it's just knowing that they care, that you care.
Absolutely right.
Is a big help, because a lot of people don't care. It's like, well, that's your problem, not mine.
Right.
And they're like, well, why want to be part of this? You don't even care about me. Why would you care about anything else? So it is something that stands out when you know a business cares about its people, and so that's what I'm hearing from.
Well, I will tell you, the pandemic and COVID has certainly made us reassess our priorities. You know, a business's priority is to make money, but believe me, that went out the window with the pandemic. You know, the most important thing was that our staff be healthy, that our customers were healthy. And you know, we have an awesome responsibility, and the public trusts us to honor that. And we really, at Frontier, you know, our protocols, you know, the COVID protocols, their safety is absolutely first and foremost. And if we don't have enough staff to open a restaurant, then we're closed until we do. And because that's only that's what we have to do.
Right. And it's always, like I always tell people, do the right thing, not what's popular, but the right thing. And sometimes it's so difficult.
Sure.
Because not everybody can do the right thing. You know, it's easier to just want to do what you want to do, but when you take into consideration, well, it's just not me. It's the people that are there working, you know, the customers, everybody. It just, that's the right thing to do. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you take a loss, but, you know, I respect business like that because they're really in it, not so much, yes, definitely you're in it to make money, but you are doing the right thing to be a responsible business that is looking out for its customers and the people that work for you as well.
Absolutely, because our business being open, there's a lot of lives that are depending on that business being open to take care of their families.
Sure.
And so it's a delicate balance that you know, you have to, you know, measure what's right and do the right thing, but at the same time we want to take care of our staff and allow them to be able to earn the living they need to make.
Exactly. And so listeners, if you're hearing all this, man, I don't know if you were looking for a job, if this has not really moved you or enticed you or to look to maybe coming in. I know that they're having the event. Can you talk a little bit more about where this is happening and for the listeners that are listening, says, hey, this sounds too good to pass up.
Absolutely. It's going to be at the Magic Time Machine, which is located off of Loop 410 here in San Antonio. Again, that date is September the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And so is that the only time that they'll be able, or can they email anything, or is it just you have to come by and do it in person, or?
Great question. So we actually have a text Frontier opportunity. So if you text the word Frontier to 85,000,
okay,
you can get some more information. We also have a flyer that's going to be blasted on social media, and that has Dana's contact information as well. So.
Okay. And what social media is that? Is that like on Facebook, or do you on your Facebook or Frontiers?
Correct.
Or
So we'll be tagging Frontier social media channels to AACOG, and we have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram channels.
Okay. So if anybody's listening right now, and like I said, I mean, you heard it here. I think when you put people first, you can't go wrong. And a lot of businesses, I know sometimes it's sad to say that they don't, you know, they put profit over people. And I don't know, but I'd rather work for somebody that really cares about you and that really has the best interest at heart for you. So something like this, you don't want to pass up as well. Dana, you have anything to add really quick? Or?
No, thank you guys so much. Sal, once again, as always, thank you so much for having us here. And again, listeners, you want to text Frontier to 85,000. 85,000. Or you can also visit us on any of our socials, and you can also go to Frontier's website for more information. Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you. Anything else that, Gary, you would like to add? Or
if they do text 85,000, the word Frontier to 85,000, it will open up a portal. They can fill out an online application there if they'd like. Come to work with us. We would love to have you, and it's a great place to be.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. Like I said, if you were looking for a place, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, how much easier can you get to apply, you know, because you can text it or you can go to the event that they're having. Once again, can you share that with the audience or the listeners where it's going to be?
Magic Time Machine on Blue 410, September the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And also, don't forget, if you get a chance, I mean, I recommend the pancakes at Jim's. Believe me, I love the pancakes there, and I think your hours are not completely 24 hours, right?
No, we're not back to 24 hours yet. But if enough people show up for our job fair, maybe we can.
There you go.
Hey, there's motivation.
There you go.
Keyword
Yeah.
was yes.
So it's up to you guys, because I really would like to go get some pancakes at 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? But thank you again for coming. We appreciate it, and we will be back here again next week. Take care, and God bless.